Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back once again to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. And it seems that everywhere I look at the moment, I keep hearing the phrase trust and transparency. And there really does seem to be a storm brewing in the world of marketing and social media because of privacy and our increasing awareness around privacy. But what does that mean to marketers, and what does it mean for MarTech companies too? So I invited today's guest on the podcast after reading a great quote from him where he said, "Transparency is all about trust. Building that trust with customers, partners, and at the industry at large. And building that trust should be with customers, partners, and the industry at large." And he went on to say, it's good to have the secret sauce, but it's not so good to keep secrets. And when I dug a little bit deeper after reading that quote, I quickly learned that his MarTech company, PX, are using technology to change the industry and how marketers find new customers. My very limited understanding before talking to him is that PX is the world's first transparent customer acquisition platform, providing a single marketplace for companies to acquire customers from hundreds of sources. But it's the first platform to be completely 100% transparent about where those leads came from. Sounded to me like I needed to find out a little bit more on this one. So come with me so we can speak with Frans van Hull, CEO and co-founder at PX. So a massive warm welcome to the podcast, Frans. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me. Yes, so I'm co-founder and CEO of PX. PX is a customer acquisition platform for marketeers, helping them to acquire new customers in a more effective and efficient way. And at the same time, we help publishers to improve their monetization of their audiences. And we're active in financial services, home services, and insurance, mainly US focused, although our platform is available for clients outside the US as well.
And I recently read about PX and quickly discovered that you're not just a customer acquisition platform, but I believe it's also the first platform to be completely 100% transparent about where those leads come from. But can you tell me more about what it is and the kind of problems they are solving for businesses?
Yeah, so that's right. And, it's always hard to claim the very, very first, but to create some context. And I'm mainly talking about the industry in the US. What we see is that advertisers are acquiring new customers or buying leads and calls from what we call black boxes. They have no idea if those leads are real time, where those leads are coming from, and how those leads were generated in the first place. And although it's improving and the industry itself is working on solutions, PX wanted to solve that. And what we basically did is opened up our platform for advertisers and give them full insight in where leads are coming from the URL, from the website. We share the traffic type, and what they can do then is analyze what their ROI is on those sources and sub-source level. So on the very page where a lead is being generated, a consumer fills in their data. That data is being verified and then is being pushed to the advertiser. The advertiser has full insight in the full chain, and depending on what the advertiser paid for that lead, can also calculate their ROI in PX. And the third component, which is very important, especially in the US, but also in Europe with GDPR, is you want to make absolutely sure that a consumer actually gave their consent and that it's a compliant lead to talk in jargon here. So the three things that we solve for way more. But the three main issues that we try to solve is give the advertiser transparency, so they know exactly where leads are coming from. Give them full insight in the ROI on those leads and being able to do something about it, either pay less or block a source. And the third component is compliance and making sure that is completely water sealed.
And I also believe that you're on a mission to deliver the best-in-class customer acquisition solutions to marketers. But I've got to ask, where did this mission begin? Because I suspect that there's got to be a story behind the inspiration of the company.
Yeah, that's a good question. And, obviously, we started in 2010. Both my business partner and I were relatively inexperienced in the lead generation, customer acquisition space. But we both have a performance marketing background. And when we started the company, I remember the sense of blown away by the inefficiency in general. As a publisher or as a network, as we call it in our industry, you need to have all these APIs integrations with either publisher systems or advertiser systems, and you have to do these APIs over and over again. And just in general, we didn't understand how an advertiser could acquire customers if he didn't know where it was coming from or what the quality of that lead was. And we always compare it with whack-a-mole strategy, or hit and miss, shooting with a shotgun, so to speak. And we just want to solve that. So early 2011, we started to develop our platform. Our first focus was not transparency. We didn't think about that yet at that time. But we started with building algorithms to score a lead and to try to predict the real intent of a lead. And that evolved in a more strategized approach where I say, okay, let's also score sources. And the next step was okay, so now we have the score and what can we do with it? And that resulted in a bidding functionality where programmatically advertisers can decide what they are willing to pay per lead and or per source. So I guess the narrative here is that we wanted to solve for a couple of pretty clear issues in the industry, and we have been working on it since then.
And here in 2020, as a MarTech company, how are you guys using technology to change the industry, and also, of course, how marketers find their new customers? What's the role of technology and all that?
I'm saying this with the utmost respect for MarTech and for MarTech industry. We feel that there is a performance component missing in the MarTech stack. So when you look at the full stack, we feel that the market the marketeers will move to a situation where they can spend their media dollars or pounds or euros in a performance-based way with full control over their ROI. And there are a lot of tools available. There are many ad tech platforms and places where you can spend your media. We just feel that the marketeers don't have enough tools yet to do that on a full performance-based way and with full insight in the ROI, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And last year, the PX Open Marketplace, I believe, surpassed 500 publishers in your exchange and continued your expansion of a fully transparent and open marketplace. But can you expand on that just for anyone that missed that announcement? Because it's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. And we're very proud of that as well. And just to do one step back, so we have basically two flavors. We have one where a partner can be a publisher or a marketeer, uses our platform to automate and execute their customer acquisition through our platform. And in that case, we are the software platform that they're using for all their customer acquisition activities. Our second flavor is that we've built out an open exchange, basically a marketplace where both publishers and marketeers can join and can do transactions together. It's an open marketplace. You can join, you can register, you can build out your campaign, you can set your filters, your rules, what kind of customers you're looking for, at what time you would like to receive them, what would you be willing to pay for it, and what's your target customer acquisition cost. And once that campaign is set, it will be published, and then publishers can generate leads or calls, or calls, I should say, and our platform makes sure that those inquiries, those leads and calls are being pushed to the campaigns and match all the filters that are being set by the marketeers. And that's an open marketplace. And you're right, we hit the 500 publisher mark last year. We're now, over 650, I believe, and our teams are investing a lot in growing both the supply side and demand side of this marketplace, which is awesome.
And you have been on an amazing journey and achieved so much success. But what have been your biggest challenges in restoring that buyer-seller equilibrium in customer acquisition? Because I suspect that it's not all been plain sailing, has it?
Absolutely not. I mean, as you know, Neil, and probably the audience knows as well, is that there's always this tension between supply and demand, and it will always be, and that's part of the game. And I think that's a good thing. And for any marketplace, it has been challenging in a way, but on the other hand, it has been a pretty natural evolution. We've pivoted the business over the years, but I can say that our starting point was to make sure that the marketeer would hit their ROI, and that the marketeer would have the tools and the insight to do a better job on his side. That was our starting point. And then the challenge was to make clear to the publisher that, the bids might be lower on your leads / traffic, but it makes the model more sustainable. And any model, at least that's our belief, any model where the advertiser, the marketeer, is not hitting their ROI goals and they don't get the quality they're looking for, that's in our eyes an unsustainable model. Might work for some time and the publishers might get away with it, or then they might make good money on it. But our message to the publishers is we can help you to make it overall way more sustainable and improve your monetization, actually, because it's our belief, and we have multiple campaigns where we show that, is once we hit the CPA goal of our client, it results in more scale and more volume for the publisher. And it's this cooperation that we have with publishers, and we have many successful cooperations and partnerships where that actually works, and where we can show that there's more scale when there's a performance-based component to it, and where the advertiser actually gets a good ROI.
And we've already talked about what you thought was missing from the current MarTech stack, but what emerging technologies actually excite you at the moment, and how do you think they will help you at PX continue to evolve?
My answer won't blow you away, Neil, but and probably to state the obvious, we're very interested in artificial intelligence. The holy grail in our business for PX, in our industry, is where you can actually predict which customer is a right fit for which advertiser/marketeer. And that prediction, we've done it with our algorithms over time, and we've done a pretty good job in how to score or measure the intent of a consumer. But being able, to bring it a step further, where there's actually machine learning in place, and where the system is actually, anticipating and predicting based on whatever data point we can get hold of, predicting the intent of a consumer. That's for us the ultimate goal, so to speak. So I'm very excited about the AI and machine learning developments. And at BX, we have invested in it, but we should invest more, and that will bring us to a whole different level.
And I think it's also worth highlighting that PX is joining the LeadCon 2020 to present the State of the Industry report. So for people that have not heard of that, or maybe can or cannot attend that event, can you offer a few teasers around what you're going to be talking about? And also, of course, how listeners can find you that are attending?
Yeah. So just for the listeners, LeadCon is the leading event for any company that is active in lead generation or customer acquisition or related services. It's a big show. 3,000 to 4,000 people are coming. It's twice a year in Las Vegas and New York, but it's pretty internationally focused. And we have been all-timers there. We have been at that show for the last 10 years or so. And we have been multiple times head sponsor. So this year, again, we will be head sponsor. And what we started to do in 2019 is create a survey for the industry and have as many people in the industry respond and fill in that survey. And 2019 was a big success. We came to very interesting data points. So for the listeners, you can find that survey on our website, px.com. This year, we'll bring it a little further. We'll have more respondents and we'll have more content and data points. It's an expansion of what we had last year, and we're diving a little deeper. Data points like the success rate on new sources. So what's the success rate of a marketeer that's trying out new channels or new sources for acquiring leads? What's the biggest challenges of marketeers with lead generation in general, and so on. But I invite everybody to go to our website, at least to look at the survey of last year, the results of it. And the results of the survey this year will be published at the end of March on px.com.
Excellent. And outside of the event, what's your primary focus at PX in 2020? Is there anything you can share with us? I appreciate you probably can't share too much, but is there anything you can?
Yeah, I don't want to, be too promotive of what we're going through as PX, and we're in a real growth phase, and so it's absolutely exciting. But 2020 for us is a crucial year because, and I refer to the two flavors that we're offering, and the one flavor being what we call private marketplaces, that our partners, publishers, or advertisers can use our platform for all their customer acquisition activities. And we have we started doing this mid 2019. We've done a couple of really successful implementations. 2020 is going to be more of the same and expand on that, and basically sell more private marketplaces and have more companies use our platform. We again, we're growing very nicely. That's our main focus for 2020.
Fantastic. Now, you did say a few moments ago regarding LeadCon, it was about advising people to drop by your website and see the report at the end of March and find out more details. So for everyone listening, could I just ask that you remind everyone where they can find PX online and also contact your team if they have got any questions?
Yes, of course. So our website is www.px.com, 2 letters, PX. Our general email address is info@px.com, and I invite anyone that have more questions to reach out directly to me. My email address is Frans, Frans, @px.com.
Excellent. Well, I'll add all those links to the blog post that will accompany this episode. But thanks so much for coming on today. I've read so many great quotes about the work that you're doing there. One was that it's great to have the secret sauce in marketing, but not so good to keep secrets. And I think the way that you're promoting greater trust and transparency is incredibly forward thinking. So a big thank you for coming on and joining me today.
Thank you for the invite.
Now, I'm no expert, but it really does sound like PX isn't just another customer acquisition platform. And like I said at the beginning, it is the first platform, as far as I'm aware, to be completely 100% transparent about where those leads came from, providing brands with the credibility and confidence in their investments. And they do have a lot of proprietary technology in the space. So thank you, Frans, for coming on and talking about that today. As for everyone listening, please keep your questions coming in to techblogwriter@outlook.com. Remember, you pop by my website too, techblogwriter.co.uk. If you scroll to the bottom, you'll find all the social channels. And you'll also find over 1,100 interviews with other leaders from multiple industries talking about how technology is transforming their world. And if you've still not had enough of hearing me in your earballs every single day, you can also find out how you can work with me, whether that be outsourcing your business blogs, your creating thought leadership blogs for a member of your leadership team, or even launching your own podcast. Whatever it is, keep those messages coming in and I'll get straight back to you. But the end of episode klaxon has just gone off in my head, so I better get out of here. But I'll join you again tomorrow for another episode. So thanks for listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.